I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your cattle market summary for the week ending June the 29th, where we've been complaining about this holiday, 4th of July. Of course, we're not really complaining about it. We're just been complaining about how it fell right in the middle of the week, right on a Wednesday there, and it really kind of messes up trade. It messes up our slaughter for the week there, because you couldn't have a full-on weekend or Saturday before, and then you won't be able to have it after, and then it'll probably be hard to get a full day's kill done heavy on Tuesday or Thursday, and then everything going to be shut down on Wednesday. But actually, it might be a blessing in disguise, as we know, the industry knows that we're going to be kind of taming down the slaughter a little bit, and less product available out there for your packers to sell. That has kind of helped them shore up the box beef cutout values. Although they're lower, they're not as sharply lower as they might have been, or as much as they are a lot of times when you get past the 4th of July purchasing. But there's a lot of product sold out front also, and the packers know that they're going to have to get some product on their shelves or in their warehouses before we get to that, so that they can fill those orders and still have product for their spot demand there. So it may have kind of helped things, because man, we really come through there with a big week last week on trade volume. You know, we thought we had pretty much done everything at 106 and 170 dressed on your fat cattle sales. But actually, the packers come out fairly aggressive on Friday and bought several more cattle, and we're going to have a big marketing week there, and kind of give this market a shot in the arm, and everything's going good, even though it's going to be pretty quiet this week. Not a whole lot going on. We'll have a few feeder cattle sales here early in the week. Won't have anything at all in the southeast. We may not have any fat cattle trade. I wouldn't expect the board to do a whole lot, but let's talk about everything that happened last week. You look at your board for last week, August live cattle futures. Remember, we started out the week with all that pressure from the cattle on feed report that come out the Friday before, and it really hurt the board there. Monday, your board was down to limit $3 on your August live cattle. Tuesday was down 47. Wednesday back up 30. Thursday up $1, and we thought it was just kind of recovering some of that initial loss there. But then Friday up the limit, up $3, and that's how crazy that board is. And 106.72 is where the August contract ended. That was actually 82 cents higher for the week. June spot market. It's another thing that the board really liked, was getting rid of June. That June has had a huge basis on there. We wondered if it would ever meet up. They did, but getting rid of June, which it went off there late in the week, is going to be a good thing to get that thing behind us. But it just jostles so much right there at maturity. Thursday, your June contract was up $1.17 and ended right at 108 even. And that was before they traded any cattle higher late in the week. So then that kind of helped bring about some higher trade on Friday. But then Friday, the last day that June traded, it had to scramble back down $1.20 to end at 107 even, which was actually down $1.27 for the week. So it's just, it can be so volatile there at the end of the week. They can do just about anything with those figures, with your board values, you know, whenever you're a few months out, and then it can just find its way back to where it needs to go, because we've got such big daily limits now, and the market's so volatile that it doesn't have anything to do really with what's going on in the real world. August feeder cattle, Monday was down 342 with all that pressure from cattle on feed. But Tuesday come back 32 cents, and then Wednesday was down 32 cents, and then Thursday was up $1.05, and then Friday up the limit for August feeder cattle also, and the limit there is $4.50. But ending the week last week with August feeder cattle at 150, 132, that was up $2.12 for the week. Your October out there at 150.07 at the end of the week, up 60 cents. It's your fat cattle trade. Like we said last time we talked, we figured we were all done. Everybody traded at $1.06 and 170 dressed. And we haven't seen Texas trade a whole lot of cattle here the last few weeks. And we kind of forgot about them, that they did have some cattle out there to sell. And because, you know, by and large, everything's formulated out of there, you don't even get 8 or 9% of your cattle negotiated trade in Texas feedlot areas. But they had some cattle they could sell on Friday, and your packers come out fairly aggressive. Texas started trading cattle at 107, and then it turned to 108. And then we did start seeing some of the other areas sell some too, and staying pretty current. You know, they'd sold about everything they thought they needed to, and then sold some more. Another 6,400 head sold in Texas. Nebraska sold 16,000 on Friday morning. Kansas sold some cattle too, and they had pretty good movement all last week at 106. But most all your trade in your other areas was 107, 107 and a half, maybe a spot here at 108. But Texas sold several cattle for them, and it was pretty evenly split between 107 and 108. So we're going to see a shot in the arm from the weighted averages that we had done for the week up through Wednesday. But through Thursday, they had sold 74,500 head, and then we're gonna easily get over 100,000 head now with Friday sales, and that's a great movement on a pre-holiday week. Box beef cutout values, like we talked, were lower, but did not fall completely out of bed. Your choice cuts, the average trade for last week was $215 even. That was down $3.65. Selects, the average trade was down $153 from the previous week's weighted average at $200.71. Your choice select spread now is $14.29, and had decent movement of 604 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings. Let's look at your feeder cattle markets. You know, it's hard to get a handle on your feeder cattle markets because we didn't have very many just regular sales that were well enough tested compared to the previous week to get a good handle. The sales that we did have that were worth looking at were big specials with green summer grass yearlings on offer, and your feedlots just blew their brains out on them. But the few sales that we did have, you know, our big tested markets in the Southern Plains like OKC West and places like that, where you could get a good test of the market, you could see that your cash feeder cattle were really steady to $3 lower, with the full decline on the heifers. Everybody's wanting the steers to get all the big bang out of those cattle, what they can do. The best feeding cattle the whole year is your green summer grass yearlings, and we saw a lot of them come. They had big specials in Green City, Missouri, Bassett, Nebraska, Unionville, Missouri, a lot of places up there in that central Midwestern area, just up into the edge of the Northern Plains, and man, did they sell them high. But on Friday, the last we saw was a Green City calf special. Earlier in the week, they'd had their yearling special and knocked it out of the park, and then on Friday, Green City had about 2,700 head for the calf special, and we saw some levels we hadn't seen in a long time on their top quality lightweight, light 5-weight steers, 5 to 550 pounds. Had over 100 of them on offer, averaging 525 pounds at 190.17 on the weighted average. The top sale on their light 5-weight steers was 194 1/4. When's the last time you remember that happening anywhere? But we saw Bassett, Nebraska had their big yearling special earlier in the week, last week. 96 head of 702-pound steers bring 174.50. We saw on the I gave you a quote with some Canada cattle, with those cattle starting to sell their grass cattle up there in the open ranges there. Some cattle out of Saskatchewan, near 1,000 head of 925-pound heifers for August delivery, bring 179 1/4 Canadian, or 134.50. US dollars, and that's nothing to sneeze out on a 9 1/4 weight heifer. But we saw Cattle Country Video had a big video sale. They had a string of cattle in Hyannis, Nebraska, and they're for late August delivery, but almost 550 head of them to weigh 950. Those steers bring 149.50, so those are some pretty big prices. Northern Video had a sale late last week, and now we're starting to see them price the fall delivery calves. And so Northern Video kind of established the early market on a fall delivery 600-pound ball and calf. You know, we always talk about adding value to cattle, and those cattle in the fall and in the early winter that come into your big sales up in the Midwest. Everybody wants those cattle to be weaned, and your guys that really do the best job producing the cattle, have the highest genetics and everything like that, mostly sell on the video and mostly sell a fleshy ball and calf. You can get away with that on the video, especially when you sell them in the summertime when people are wanting to get some of those sewed up. But a flat 600-pound ball and calf for October delivery in the northern north central mountain state area up there on the Northern Video, which is based out of Montana, is about 170. Now that's towards the top end of there, but if you're looking for a place to price your 600-pound steer calves for fall delivery, 170 is a good place to start. You might luck out and get them sold that way, but you're going to be pretty close to where you need to be. We've already established a market for our summer grass yearlings on the last few videos we've seen come out, especially in the Flint Hill, Osage region. But a 850-pound steer there, $150 for summer delivery, but that could be a little bit higher now since we saw those monster prices last week. But that's a look at your markets from a home DV auction office here in Canyon, Texas. We'll talk to you next week.